los programas de familia, servicios de apoyo familiares. Gracias por venir esta noche para la junta sobre los recursos para inmigrantes. So thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Mayra Viña. I am the Family Support Services Manager at Focus Points Family Resource Center. So we're going to start first by letting you know that you can choose your language in a few minutes. You'll look for the little globe and select if you would prefer to listen to this in English or in Spanish. And then if you have questions, you will ask them in the Q&A, which has a Q and an A and two little bubbles where you can ask your questions, and we'll do our best to answer them as they come. So gracias a todos. En un momentito va a haber la opción de tener interpretación en el idioma que usted guste, en inglés o en español. Por favor de escogerla. Y también cuando tengan preguntas, van a preguntarlas en el Q y A, que es una opción abajo de su pantalla en Zoom, donde los deja preguntar sus preguntas, y vamos a hacer nuestro mejor esfuerzo de tener respuestas para esas preguntas, ¿ok? Gracias a todos. Eddie, si me puede oír, si tiene una pregunta, pregunta, por favor de ponerla en la Q y A opción al bajo de su pantalla, por favor, y ahí le vamos a poder responder, ¿ok? So Edith, if you could ask your question in the Q&A, we'll do our best to answer it in a moment. Thank you. So today's presenters, we have Focus Points Family Resource Center. We are leading this today, and we are so happy to have the City of Aurora Office of International and Immigrant Affairs, Centro San Juan Diego, Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition, Denver Public Library, Plaza Programs, Littleton Immigrant Resources Center, Denver Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, and MSU Denver Immigrant Services Program. So thank you all panelists that are here today. We're excited for you to present, and for all the attendees, we're excited to share information about what immigration resources there are for you or your community or friends and family. So Focus Points Family Resource Center, what we do is provide services for families. Our mission is to strengthen families. And so how we do this is by providing different types of services like adult education. Right now we provide GD and ELA classes. And there's also the CRISP program for recent immigrants and refugees. We then have family programs like early childhood education, our parents as teachers, and our hippie program, which are home education programs. We then also provide support services. I'm the manager of family support services, and so we do application support with food access or food stamps, utility assistance, rental assistance, and we also have a goal setting program. Then we have workforce, and what they do is provide services to help people find new jobs. And that includes resume writing and cover letter writing to being prepared for their interview. And we also have two entrepreneur programs are called social enterprise with Huerta, our agriculture program, and Comal, our restaurant program. And then we have community engagement programs that include health and wellness, like yoga classes and our community garden. And I believe that is all the programs that we have. And so who we provide support with, it is adults in 80205 and 80216 for family support services programs. And you can reach us for any other information after tonight, including for the resources that we shared tonight. You can reach us at our email info@focuspoints.org, and also call us at 303-292-0770. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter for updates. And you'll also get the opportunity, if you'd like to, sign up for our newsletter that has started as well.
All right, thank you. I just want to start saying thank you to Focus Point for putting together this wonderful event. Buenas tardes a todos. So I'm going to just offer a short, brief overview about our office and some of the most important programs that we offer to our community. By the way, all of our programs are open to anyone who actually is a resident of the city of Aurora. So especially immigrants and refugees, of course. So our office was established in 2015. And we have three main responsibilities. Number one is we manage international relations for the city. We try to promote Aurora as a destination for international business. We plan all the international trips for the mayor and members of the city council. We have been extremely busy in the last few years. For example, we were able to secure the location for the new consul of El Salvador a couple of years ago. We have been traveling with the mayor and business leaders to Asia and Central America and many other parts of the world. And we are going back to Central America in the next few months as well, to Costa Rica and El Salvador. So we are very busy on the international arena, hosting international groups and delegations. The other main responsibility that we have in the office is we oversee all the different programs for immigrants and refugees across the city. So we work, with all the different city departments and local nonprofits and different organizations serving immigrants and refugees across the city. We work on programs, on policies for our newcomers. And the last responsibility that we have in the office as well is we manage the language access plan. In other words, anything related to interpretation and translation services for the whole city. In terms of the programs, we have a lot of programs because, by the way, we are the only city in the state of Colorado who have an immigrant integration plan, and one of the few cities in the country. So we are very proud that we continue being the only city in the state who actually have a program just focused on the integration of our newcomers. We strongly believe that immigrant integration happens at the local level, so we have several good programs for our immigrant and refugee communities. Very quickly, some of the most important programs, for example, are in the area of promotion of small business. Anything from access to capital for those who want to expand or open new business. Also anything related to city services, information, resources, how to open a business in the city, how to get a license, anything related to zoning issues, we can help you on those programs as well. Another very good program is in the area of leadership development. We have a couple of really good programs who have been recognized at the national level. One is the Natural Helpers Program and the Natural Leaders Program. Those programs are great. We try to engage the community. We train volunteers from the immigrant refugee community, and these are our troops on the ground. Actually, our own team of volunteers are helping others to navigate the system every single day across the city. Another area that we try to focus is in the area of international trade and business. We try to promote the city at the international level. We already have several companies who already relocate or expand their operations in Colorado, especially here in the city of Aurora. In addition to that, I want to invite you to check out all of our different programs in the area of English classes, for example. We offer English classes online, citizenship classes online, everything is free. In addition to that, we offer mental health services online as well, financial education programs online, and also all kinds of different programs right now because COVID, most of our programs were moved into a different platform online right now. But once COVID is gone, we're planning to go back and host different classes and programs in person again in the next few months. So we are very pleased that we are one of the cities who are taking the lead in the integration programs in the state of Colorado. And I want to invite you to check out our immigrant integration plan. You can access to the plan online. You can see the way how you can contact us. We are very active on Facebook, on social media, and also you can send an email. You can call us for more information about any of our programs that we have right now in the city of Aurora. So I'm looking forward to answer any questions after the presentation of the other panelists. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ricardo. That's amazing. I'm excited to know about that. My name is Scheer. I am representing Centro San Juan Diego. I'm the program manager here. Centro San Juan Diego is a ministry of the Archdiocese of Denver, and our mission is to promote the common good of the Hispanic community through education, family support, integration, and leadership formation. I would say our main focus is specifically it has mostly been on adult education. The whole idea is to say to the immigrants who have come to this country, you don't have to leave your dreams at the door when you come here. We want to recognize the dignity and the potential of every single person. And so what is it that they need to take the next step up to integrate more fully, to achieve greater things, everything that they want to, and to really realize their full potential, because that will be beneficial to their families, to themselves, to the community, and all of that. So for that reason, a lot of our programs are geared towards adult education. Since the pandemic has started, they've basically all moved online with the exception of our computer classes. Those are in person. But we do offer English classes, levels 1 through 4. People will take a placement test to see where they fit in. And then those are 12-week classes that we have in the mornings, in the spring and the fall, and then in the afternoons in the spring, summer, and fall. We also have the computer classes. As I had mentioned, those are year-round. Basic classes for people just learning to use the computer, advanced classes for people who would like to learn a little bit more about like Microsoft Office programs. And then we have Excel classes, which are helpful for people, especially who need to learn Excel or know Excel a little bit better for their jobs or for personal reasons. Those classes, the computer classes, are in Spanish. And let's see, we also offer GED classes in Spanish. We have them broken apart into science classes, social studies classes, math classes, and language arts classes. So the science and the social studies classes are 5 weeks long. Language arts is 8 weeks long, and then the math class is 10 weeks long because it's about the amount of time that the people need in order to feel prepared in order to take the tests. So those classes are all offered in Spanish, online, available all year long. We also have financial literacy classes, which we just revamped this year, which are 3 different parts, 3 different sections, basically from learning about how to create a budget and learning about credit and having a savings account, to investments, considering higher education, paying for that, even retirement, insurance, all of those different things. We also have citizenship classes in English and Spanish. Those basically we help the people learn about the naturalization process, and also practicing the civics, reading, writing portions, and the N400. But we don't actually help people fill out that application. So we'll make referrals to other organizations, some of you who are here connected to this call. And then in that, we also have presentations from our courts so that the students can learn a little bit about the legal system in the US. And then we also have presentations from USCIS, so that way they can listen to someone who is from that organization to feel more comfortable and ready when they go for their interview. So we also like to collaborate with other organizations to help the community integrate more fully. And so one example of that is previously with our English classes, we would have the students go on field trips to different museums and stuff. And then that has obviously changed given the reality of the pandemic. But for example, we were still able to connect with the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and they did a virtual heart dissection for our GED science class. And then they gave tickets to all of the people so that they could take their families to the museum. So just looking for ways that people can really engage in all of the opportunities that this city and the state really, have to offer. We also have Legal Night, the first and third Wednesday of each month. This is really open to anyone, not just Spanish speakers. Anyone who needs a free legal consult. They're 45 minutes long with lawyers who do some pro bono work. Previously, it was just first come, first serve here at Centro, and then now they are online, well, actually via phone. And so in order to do that, you need to sign up online because it's important to know what type of case you have in order to pair with the right lawyer. We also have tax preparation services. AARP Tax Aid helps train the members of the community that are already integrated, who speak both Spanish and English, people who are interested in taking that next step. And so they study and they become certified. And then basically their payment is volunteering to prepare taxes during the tax season. So this season has been wild and crazy because we've definitely modified the way we go about that. But it's a really exciting program because it's not just for people who first come, it's for people who are like already integrated and want to take that next step. So that's a service that we have. And then finally, we have a connection with a university in Puebla, Mexico, the Universidad Popular Autónoma del Estado de Puebla, which is UPAEP Online. And this is basically for people who are interested in earning a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. And it's in Spanish. It's a little bit more economical than higher education, I guess, here. And so for people who want to continue their education even further, it's a really awesome option. There's 10 different bachelor's degree programs. So like business administration, social work, IT management, educational innovation and consulting, those types of things. And then master's degrees, there's 12 different master's degrees available. Administration and strategic management, e-learning, organizational management, lots of different types of things. And so if people are inspired to kind of continue bettering themselves in order to give more of themselves more fully to their families, to the community, et cetera, we want to support them in that. So if you have any questions, you can definitely reach us. You can flip to the next, there we go, at our website at centrosanjuandiego.org. You can sign up for classes online. You can sign up for legal consults online. And then you're also welcome to email me with any questions, or you can give us a call. It's 303-295-9470. Thank you.
Thanks, Erin, for that info. Pretty cool resources y'all have. So thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Juan David Garza. I'm the Legal Services Coordinator with CERC. Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition, and I'll be talking about some of our services, as well as Alexis, one of our regional fellows, will help me finish up this 10 minutes. So yeah, I would like to start off with just a little context for those of you who don't really know or haven't heard of CIRC. So we are a statewide membership-based coalition of immigrant, labor, interfaith, youth, and ally organizations founded back in 2002. And it was built to unify a statewide voice to improve the lives of immigrants and refugees in Colorado, as well as across the United States. And CIRC achieves this mission through nonpartisan civic engagement, public education, and advocacy to win fair, humane, and workable public policies. And then I did want to share with you just some of our top priority campaigns for 2021. So a campaign for universal representation. There's thousands of undocumented folk who are actually going through immigration court without legal representation. Despite the Sixth Amendment saying that everyone in the U.S. should be provided an attorney, this is a misrepresentation that we're seeing with folks. We really want to, we're working on building a legal defense fund, and that is in tandem with trying to work with other organizations to get that goal accomplished, as well as data privacy. A big part of collaboration between ICE and local law enforcement is just sharing information. And that allows for a lot of these predatory practices to be possible. So we're trying to build more barriers for that collaboration, as well as ICE resistance. And then of course, immigration reform. We're about to hit 100 days for Biden's presidency, and we want to make sure that we're actually going to see change within these next 4 years. SB 251 licenses are also something that we help out with, which Alexis will talk about more, and he'll talk about our hotline. And yeah, I can just get right into our legal services. So we do offer workshops for citizenship if you're looking to apply for N400 to naturalize, as well as Daca Workshops. And those workshops are usually planned in tandem with other organizations just to amplify the outreach and capacity for the amount of folks that we're going to be able to help. We like to get volunteers involved, so they'll be folk who have been trained to fill out these applications. And we like to pair those volunteers not with just an applicant, but we'll also pair them up with an attorney just to answer any questions and do like a last minute review at the end of their appointment. And we can also do one-on-one appointments. So currently, because of COVID, everyone knows how it is. We're not able to have in-person appointments, but we are still doing one-on-one for Daca as well as those N400s. And just for total transparency, currently CIRC doesn't have a licensed attorney or lawyer on staff, but we do have 2 staff members working to get DOJ fully accredited, one of them being myself and the other one being our legal services manager, Kevin Mendoza. We also have an Undocuhealth fellow, her name is Leslie Valdez, for those of you who might have met her already, but she's able to help us out with Daca. So we've been helping out a lot of Daca applications this year, as well as some citizen workshops coming in the near future. Yeah, and then before I hand it off to Alexis, we also have Know Your Rights trainings. So this is kind of legal services, but basically I'll be the one to reach out if you are interested in hosting a Know Your Rights training. But essentially we'll go over history of the immigration legislative changes in the 21st century in Colorado, how we went from a very anti-immigrant culture to a state with one of the most protections for its immigrant communities. We differentiate between local law enforcement and ICE, go over the Constitution, 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment, and even work through some scenarios like a home raid or your rights at a traffic stop. So if you are interested in setting that workshop up, bring it to your community or organization, I'll go ahead and drop my email and as well as the legal services department phone number, just so we can get y'all set up with that. And yeah, that's it for legal services and the Know Your Rights training. And I'm actually going to pass it off to Alexis now to talk about our ICE activity hotline, as well as our SB 251 licenses support.
Yeah, thank you, JD. My name is Alexis, and I'm the fellow for Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition. As JD has mentioned, we do have a hotline that you can call. And a little bit about it is that in 2017, in response to the election of Donald Trump, we wanted to get accurate information to community about ICE raids and counter ICE's media narrative. So we are a part of the CORE network in Colorado, which is a volunteer network. And we provide a hotline that is 24/7 and that you can call in case you want to report any incident with immigration, you know, any ICE activity that you see. We do have a hotline, and the number that you can call is 844-864-8341. That's 844-864-8341. I also want to talk about SB, the driver license program. So in between 2006 and 2012, approximately 60% of the detentions and deportations by ICE were a result of Coloradans driving without a license. So as we all know, driving without a license can have a lot of repercussions, but it wasn't until 2013 when SB 251 was passed and signed, and it gave the opportunity for undocumented people to have licenses. So what we do here at CIRC is we train group and organizations to support immigrant community members to obtain SB 251 driver licenses. CIRC we have trained here over 50 community navigator groups around the state of Colorado who actively support community members to successfully apply for a driver license. So that's one of the things that we can help out on. And yeah, if you have any questions or want to contact us about that stuff, you can see the email on the screen at joe@coloradoimmigrant.org. And yeah, as JD also put in this chat, you can contact him at jd@coloradoimmigrant.org if you have questions about legal services. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we continue, I just want to remind everyone, please feel free to start asking questions. We will answer your questions at the end by either the panelists or focus points if we have the answers. Thank you. And go ahead, Denver Public Library Plaza Programs.
Hi, my name is Virginia. I'm here from the Denver Public Library. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Plaza Programs today. Plaza is a program that has been around for a long time at Denver Library. Before COVID, we were in 11 locations, and it was programming where everybody was welcome, all ages, drop in, basically for people to get to know each other, practice English, practice citizenship, that kind of thing. Since COVID started last year, we moved online. So we currently have 5 English conversation practice groups every week. We have citizenship study groups, including a group in Spanish that's only in Spanish, and a group in Arabic as well, every week. And those are completely free, drop in, and you don't need to have a library card to participate in the programming. We also offer homework help, and that's more of like a one-on-one basis, case by case. Right now there's a wait list, but we're hoping to have more volunteers to help with that in the summer, or in the next school year, I'm sorry. We also do kind of resource navigation, because we're able to offer some one-on-one virtual services, or by phone, we can help people with different services. So whether it's working on finding resources for their family, or job searching, that kind of a thing, we pair people up to work on those, to work on kind of whatever need there is. And right now we have a wait list for different areas, but we are able to offer 8 sessions one-on-one with our staff, and our staff speak a lot of different languages. And we also have some interpretation options as well. We are also currently offering Chromebook and Hotspot Checkout. So we have these nice Chromebook devices that come paired with the Wi-Fi hotspot, and you can check them out for 3 months at a time. And so that's part of this program as well, and contacting me can get you in touch with how to access those devices. That's a really great program for people who need extra, they need another computer to use at home, or their Wi-Fi isn't strong enough, or they don't have Wi-Fi at home. That can help kind of supplement and give you the tools you need for communication, education, work, whatever it may be, you can use them. And our devices are for Denver residents, but we also have other devices available at DPL that can be checked out. And that's just for anybody with anybody who is a Colorado resident. And of course, we have books and other materials. The library has many, many books, and we're open again. So we were closed for a very long time. And now almost all of our locations are open. Some of them have limited hours. Some of them are operating at their full hours. My office is at the Gonzales Branch Library on Colfax and Irving, and we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. And this is our contact information where you can reach us. This is our office phone number and our email, and everything is at our website, denverlibrary.org/plaza, from the schedules to our classes, and the links to join them are there. All of them are drop-in. You don't need to register. You can just join in by clicking the link. And there's also a form on there if it's to request more information. So if you look at our website and you can't find what you're looking for, fill out that form and we'll have someone get back in touch with you. Thank you all for being here, and thanks for all the other great presenters.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity of being together today. It's so rare and so much valued to talk about what we do and share our experience. My name is Glaucia Robello. I am originally from Brazil. I've been living here in Colorado for 7 years and a half, and I really love what I do. The Littleton Immigrant Resources Center is part of the city of Littleton government. So we are basically a government agency. And this office was began 12 years ago, more or less. And since 2010, we are a Department of Justice recognized organization. So we can provide legal help. We can do applications before USCIS. We can represent clients. So this is a very important thing for us. And we are the only one that is the South Metro Denver area. So we see people from everywhere in Colorado. We have clients from Aurora, we have clients from Denver, we have clients from Sterling, from Fort Morgan, wherever they live, we can assist them. Our services are mostly in person, like the immigration services all in person. We have been open since last year, since May, and we have seen people all this time. So we continue to see them here. We do as much as we can to protect people. So we do many things over the phone, interviews over the phone, but if the person wants to come here, we are open 5 days a week. We also provide English classes and ESL classes, and they are now online. We have four classes, 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, and they are all online and they are very popular right now. This helped us to assist more people with the English, because now they don't need to worry about coming here and being on time, because I know that's kind of, with our traffic, it has been difficult, but there's very popular. And the other option we provide is the language partners. We also have ESL tutors, or we have citizenship tutors. We don't have citizenship classes anymore, but we provide tutors if you want to study 101. So they are also very popular, and people have been demanding those services. Even with the pandemic, nothing really stopped. On the legal services, we have limited services as everybody else, because we are a very small crew, and we provide mostly naturalization services or green card renewals, EAD, which is employment authorization document renewals. We are now doing first-time DACA applications. We are very proud and very happy that we are joining other organizations to help with the effort of providing DACA assistance. We believe that this is something that is overdue, but we are happy that we can now submit the applications to the USCIS. We, with the naturalization services, we also go with the person to their interview if they want to. And some people really need it, especially the older people, and we are very happy to provide this assistance as well. We serve, as I said, everybody living in Colorado. So there is no need to show any proof of residence other than what USCIS asks. For our English classes, we don't ask anything other than showing up. And because it doesn't matter if the person has documents, doesn't have documents, we serve anybody, okay? Our office is located in Littleton, and it's inside the Bemis Library, which is the City of Littleton Library. We are part of the library organization, and we can be reached by the 303-795-3968. Of course, for the legal services, we require to have appointments. So if you come in, we can serve you, but sometimes we are in a meeting or we are in an appointment, we cannot really see. So the best option is to schedule an appointment. We'll be glad to see you. And when we cannot provide the services the person wants or needs, we always refer people. So the same happens with clients that need citizenship classes or they need something else. We also always refer to other organizations in Colorado. That's it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ateem Oti, and I am the Director for the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. And I'm joined today with my colleague, Maria Corral, who is going to talk a little bit more specifically about some programming that we have at our office. But just to kind of give you all an overview about our office, it's our mission and our vision to promote the well-being of immigrants and refugees in the city and county of Denver. And we really try to do that by advocating for inclusive and meaningful integration. And through that, or by doing that, we really want to work on our strategic priorities in the areas of civic engagement, capacity building, advocacy, partnerships, and research. A lot, and many of the folks that have presented before us have been really instrumental in our partnerships priority. It's definitely something that we lean on a lot because we don't have a big office. And so it's really important that we are able to work with other agencies who are doing really good work for immigrants and refugees to make sure that our abilities are shared, but also our collaborative spirit is really seen through the work that we do. So some of the work that our office does in the area of advocacy that I just wanted to point out are around trying to influence local policies and procedures and processes that can really try to support immigrants that live in the city and county of Denver. And some of you may have heard of or hopefully were able to benefit from the Denver Left Behind Workers Fund. Denver recognized that there were a lot of our residents who unfortunately were left out of federal relief because of the pandemic, as well as state relief through unemployment. And so we really wanted to try to come up with a little something to try to help folks who were not given the stimulus funding or unemployment. We've also tried to work on passing ordinances and laws, local laws that really support and build on public safety, but also supports around some of the legal services that you've been hearing. In 2017, our office through, and really the city, passed an ordinance that really limited our Denver employees' assistance in federal immigration enforcement. We also do not ask about immigration status. It's not something that our employees are allowed to do. And we really wanted to try to work on this to really make sure that folks who live in Denver feel like they have a place to go when they need resources. Our office can help connect individuals to various resources. And we'll have Maria talk a little bit about some of the programming, but we really want you to know that as a Denver resident, but also really as just an immigrant and refugee living in the Denver metro area, if you have a question, because of our partnerships and because of the time that we've taken to really build those relationships, if we can't assist you, we want to make sure that we share resources that are available to you in the cities that you live in. I'd also just like to say that in our civic engagement, which Maria is going to talk about, we really want our residents to be active in understanding who your city council members are, who the offices are in your neighborhoods that are, doing either developments or putting in a new bus that needs to go in, putting in parks. We want you to engage. And so this, some of the programming that Maria is going to speak about is hopefully going to give you a sense of empowerment to advocate for the things that you want to live in this city and the things that you need to live in this city. So I'll let Maria continue to talk about some of that programming, but I do just want to make sure everyone knows we are here to not only assist you if you have resources, if you have needs for resources, but we also want to hear from you if there's something that you want that's not available to you right now. We'd like to really try to help that. So Maria, if you will talk about some of our programming.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much to Focus Points and the team there for inviting us to be here with you today. Like the team said, we're with the Denver Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. I believe we were one of the first offices in the state. So we're really proud of that. And because of that, we do our best to work with different community partners to provide the best programming and connect our community members to make sure that they feel that they're part of the community, because documentation status doesn't matter to us. What matters is that you're here and you're part of our community. So some of the programming that we provide will include, along with CERC and Lutheran Family Services and other community organizations, we work to provide citizenship workshops. Our next one is on May 20th. And it's going to be a virtual citizenship workshop. And we can also share that link so that you can register if you're interested. I'm sorry, May 15th. And we can share that registration link so that you can sign up to become a citizen. And as Dirk was saying, we provide attorneys there that'll connect people and do a review of the application. We have volunteers to help you fill out the application. They can be quite difficult. And in addition, the City of Denver also provides a scholarship to, or financial assistance to those who are applying for citizenship. If you don't qualify for the waiver, but you don't make enough money to really allow your family to apply for citizenship, then we want to help you out. And we will provide a little bit more than half of the citizenship filing fee to help you in your dream of becoming a citizen. So please take advantage of that. For more information, I'll share it with focus points to send out. In addition to that, we also do Daca Workshops in the community. We don't have any scheduled right now, but we will be working with our communities to do that with our organizations. And most importantly, and I think everybody here might be interested in, we provide a program called My City Academy, where we actually connect you to the resources and services provided by the City and County of Denver. As a resident of Denver, you qualify to use any of these services, no matter your immigration status. And we give information from everything about human services and food assistance to medical care and connecting to COVID response for whatever your needs are. And then understanding public safety. And as the team was saying, we connect you to those resources and the presenters so that you always know who you can go and ask questions to. We have 3 tracks coming up this summer. One track is for Denver residents and community service providers. And that's going to be information about the different resources and information about what's going on in the community and the services that can help families who are struggling through the pandemic. The second track will be specifically for businesses and those who are looking to start a business, talking about all the services that we provide, what it's like to have, what it's like to start a business in the City and County of Denver, everything from the nuts and bolts to permitting, financing, and marketing. And then our third track, which I'm really excited about, is going to be on civic engagement. And we're going to teach you a little bit about your city and how the municipal government is structured, but also how you can be a part of it. And again, like I said before, immigration status doesn't matter. You can always be a part of your community and stand up and speak out so that your opinions can be shared and encourage other people to vote for what you believe in. So it's incredibly important for you to be involved. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And I will be more than happy to share my information so that everybody can get connected.
And just really quickly, I just wanted to mention too, thank you, Maria. We have a website, and that website has several different links to a lot of the various programming that we've talked about, but also information about national policies and updates. So please take a look at the website. If you have any questions about some of the information, we'd be happy to answer. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's been really informative and wonderful to hear about those great resources available in Denver and really in the state of Colorado. My name is Gregor. I'm with the Immigrant Services Program from Metropolitan State University of Denver, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the resources that the program provides. The program has been around for almost 32 years. It's oldest student support programs on our campus. And we serve immigrant, refugee, Daca, and Undocumented students, both on campus, but we actually meet a lot with community members that are just starting to think about what college looks like in the United States. Me, just like all of my colleagues at Immigrant Services Program, I'm a first-generation immigrant to the United States. And when I first came to the US, I was 20 years old. For the first 4 or 5 years, I worked jobs like fixing bicycles, worked at a grocery store, I was a telemarketer, which was very difficult because my English was not very good at the time. I worked at a bar after hours. And I realized at some point that I couldn't just keep looking for different jobs that maybe pay a little bit more, that maybe give me a little bit more hours. And I started at a community college taking some classes, and it quickly became very overwhelming. I didn't know how to register for classes. I didn't know how to find financial aid to pay for classes. I really didn't to improve my English, which at the time was okay. I could understand and speak English fine, but I had a very hard time managing the kinds of readings or papers that I had to produce for class. And I found a program that helped me at the time at the community college that gave me guidance, that told me answers to all the questions I had, that allowed me to come in and to use their resources to practice my reading, my writing skills. I found really wonderful tutors that helped me understand the writing assignments I had to do. And when the time came to transfer from the community college to a four-year school, very similar to Metropolitan State University of Denver, they even helped me get my transcripts, and they even helped me get connected to advisors and teachers, professors, and other students at the school I was transferring to. And that's exactly what the Immigrant Services Program wants to do. We want to make sure that higher education is accessible, that there's a place for everybody here on this call to go and get their questions answered. And those can be any and all questions. We sometimes do community events where we talk to middle school students or to high school students about how to finance college if you're not a citizen, ways to prepare for college, especially if you did not go to high school in the United States, ways to maybe improve your reading, writing skills so that you can handle those English assignments a little bit better than I did at the time. And we are really a community support organization as much as a student support organization. I'll make sure to share my information before we separate here today so that you can reach out to me or to my colleagues, Pablo and Stephanie. We have Spanish-speaking staff and a number of other languages that are represented in the Immigrant Services Program. All of our staff and all of the peer mentors in our program are first-generation immigrants. And again, we really want to make sure that people who have questions about college, who are thinking about college, even if you're not coming to Metropolitan State University of Denver, even if you're not even sure if college is the right thing, but we want to make sure that you have a place where you can have your questions answered, where we will always have enough time to sit down with you, either by phone or virtually, hopefully soon in person during the fall semester, so that you always have a place where you can ask questions. Some of the things that we do at the program is we help students with their writing assignments. We help students draft papers, but also to understand some of the assignments that they're getting from their instructor. Financial aid is a really, really big one. College in the United States is unfortunately incredibly expensive, but there are a lot of financial aid options out there, both from the federal government, but also from the state, from private donors. Those forms can sometimes be a little bit confusing, right? What do you need? How do you complete the forms? How much financial aid can you get? And we're here to help with that. No matter, again, if you're only just starting to think about college, or you may be just exploring what college would look like. We also connect a lot of students who are not eligible for federal financial aid to private scholarships, state scholarships, which are now available for undocumented college students as of 2019. And we help with scholarship essays. Scholarship essays can be really hard to write because you have to yourself, you have to almost sell yourself. And that's a weird writing task to do, right? Because you have to essentially show that you are a person that really should be receiving money from college. And we can help you think about those scholarship essays and write really strong scholarship essays. As I mentioned, we also help students do really basic things for college, get registered for classes, apply for MSU Denver. Many of the students we work with, like myself, did high school in a different country, maybe did some college in a different country. And you want to make sure those courses are being counted when you come to a university in the United States, like Metropolitan State University of Denver. And getting those transcripts, getting those records to the United States, we can explain and help with that process. And there's actually some funds available that we can connect you to that can help with that. We also speak very often with siblings or with families of college students, because parents might have questions around what college looks like for their son, for their daughter, maybe for their parents, maybe they have family members and they just want to know how to best support them when it comes to college. And that's a really important piece of what we do. We also provide some of the kinds of resources specifically on campus that we've already heard about here on the call. So for example, immigration attorneys come to campus every 2 weeks for free one-on-one information sessions. We help students get connected to affordable health services. There's a health insurance requirement if you attend college, but we know of ways to find affordable health insurance, or depending on immigration status, how to actually get out of that health insurance requirement. We work pretty closely with some of the community organizations that are on this call today. Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition, for example, El Centro San Juan Diego, and some of the other organizations you've heard from here. We work closely with them because we know that for students to be successful in the classroom, they have to feel fully supported, and their families have to feel fully supported when they leave the classroom, when they leave our campus. So we connect students to some of those legal resources, to entrepreneurship resources, especially individuals who do not have work authorization. That doesn't mean you can't have a career and can't have meaningful income in the United States, but it looks a little bit different. And we make sure that students have access to that information. For example, the Denver Children's Advocacy Center, which does really important work with behavioral and mental health for the immigrant community. They help us out in bringing those services to students all across the state of Colorado. To that end, we also have some really wonderful cultural events that are happening. Just earlier in this spring semester, 5 refugee students, as well as the Denver Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, who's here today, shared their experience and their thoughts about attending college and higher education. What are some resources that are helpful, but what are also some challenges and maybe what needs to change? And that was really important to show the students on our campus who share the refugee and immigrant identity, that they're not the only ones who are struggling and who are asking for resources, but they also hear some really helpful tips and some really powerful messages on how important college is and what has helped them to get through the journey towards a college degree. The last thing I'll share, we do have a Dreamer graduation ceremony, which is really exciting. Every year, 40 to 50 DACA and undocumented students and their families come together, now virtually, to celebrate their graduation. And that's always such a wonderful event that I feel very lucky to get to be a part of and to get to watch. Finally, I will mention one specific resource that's a little bit different from the Immigrant Services Program, but it's a resource that I'm going to share on the screen here. And specifically, it's a website called undocuhealth.com or Undocuhealth. So I'm going to share that screen here really quick. This is a website and a resource sharing site that was built up by the Immigrant Services Program, Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition, and the Denver Children's Advocacy Center. And it's the first website in the state of Colorado that collects community services and resources specifically for Colorado's undocumented community. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the different resources. We have almost 40 service providers listed, and the website just got started. So please check it out, especially if you know somebody, if you yourself are thinking that this could be a useful website. And you can give us feedback, for example, about resources that are not listed here. We currently have information around financial assistance, legal support for the undocumented community, some unemployment assistance information is on here, access to housing and legal assistance, and really a wide variety of different service providers. We especially want to make sure that individuals who are not living in the Denver, Aurora, Lakewood area have access to some of the resources. So again, if you know somebody that could benefit from that website, if you could benefit from that website, please check it out at undocuhealth.com or indocuayuda.org. I'll make sure to drop those links in the chat function before we leave. And with that, I'm coming to the end of my portion. Thanks again, everybody, for being here.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. I would just like to give a huge thank you to all of our presenters that we had here today. We've just heard from 8 incredible organizations, and just a huge thank you to all of you for showing up for our community. My name is Grace Solon, and I'm the Community Engagement Manager with Focus Points Family Resource Center. And we're going to move into the Q&A section of this event, the question and answer. So to all of you who are watching, thank you for tuning in. We hope that we are sharing important and relevant, helpful information for you all. If you have any questions that you would like to share with our panelists, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see 2 chat bubbles with the letters Q&A. If you click on that, it'll open a window and you can enter in your question. And as they're coming in, we'll direct those to the right panelists to respond to your questions. So we're going to take just a minute. We're going to let everybody come up with their questions and add them into the chat. And then we're going to move into the Q&A section in just a minute. Thank you so much. All right, so we do have some questions in the Q&A. So I'm going to ask, can we please stop screen sharing? And then can I ask our panelists to put on their videos so I can see your beautiful smiles? And panelists, as I read the questions, will you raise your hand on Zoom so that I can call on you to respond? All right, so the first question is asking about, this one was actually directed at our first presenter, Aurora. They're wondering if those services are only available to Aurora residents, and if so, are there any plans to expand to Denver? So I'm wondering, maybe we can just touch briefly on the similarities and differences in the services offered by the Aurora and Denver offices.
Okay, I can go first. You want it? All right. Well, actually, most of our programs are open to everyone, but of course, because we're using city funding, the top priority for us are our local Aurora residents. But in some cases, we extend also, the invitation to residents from other cities like Denver. We're neighbors, we're friends, and we work together on this.
And the same for us, Grace, with the City of Denver, with My City Academy, with Citizenship Workshops or Daca Workshops. Those types of things, we're very open to working with anybody in the Metro Denver area. We'd rather just, help them so that they don't have to, be looking. It's hard enough getting to know a new location. And then we can refer them back and forth when they need something from one city to the other city.
Wonderful. Thank you both for sharing. The next question was asking if the speakers can share their contact information. So I'll just speak to that really quickly. Yes, we will be sharing everyone's contact information. We have recorded this webinar and it is currently on our Facebook page, Focus Points Family Resource Center Facebook page. And that is going to be a shareable link. So any of our presenters are welcome to share that on their own Facebook pages as well. And if you signed up for this Zoom call via the Eventbrite, we have your email address and we will be sending out the PowerPoint presentation. So we will be able to share everyone's contact information. All right, the next question was directed at, I think, CIRC. And they're wondering, when is your next citizenship workshop?
Yeah, so Maria kind of touched on this because we're working on a citizenship workshop together, but it's happening May 14th. I'm sorry, May 15th, I believe. Am I getting it wrong, Maria? she's like, I'm sorry, I don't have the flyer pulled up. May 15th, and then an info session May 4th. So that's before the actual citizenship workshop. But we're gonna figure out a way to share the flyer also. And that's happening virtually. Yeah, Maria, do you want to say anything more about that?
No, you're doing great, Juan David. Thank you so much. Yes, the virtual workshop, we're doing it so that we have an information session for anybody who might have questions about the process or general questions to an attorney. We work with Lutheran Family Services to provide legal services, and then and so they provide the legal information. And then the citizenship, that's May 4th, and then May 15th is the actual citizenship workshop where we'll be working on actual applications.
Okay, thank you both. The next question is wondering if the SB 251 driver's license program is free.
I can answer that one. So yes, it is free. And Esther, if I'm pronouncing your name right, who asked the question, depending on your region, we can get you in contact with an organization that's also doing training or giving information out. So please look at the slides that we'll share later with you. There's an email that you can contact. That's chau@coloradoimmigrant.org. And you can just email that, use that email to ask any other questions specifically and provide the region that you are in.
Thank you. The next question is wondering if anyone offers assistance filling out an application for a pardon.
I am not sure if she's asking about what kind of waiver she's asking for. If it's a fee waiver, well, we do fee waivers. I'm not sure if it's the waiver for being here undocumented. So would be better if the person asks the question exactly what she needs. There are all kinds of waivers and in the immigration, so I'm not sure.
All right. Is it all right if we mention that you might be a good person to follow up with regarding
Sure,
that?
yeah, of course. And I can speak to her in Spanish as well.
The next question is wondering what an EAD is.
I think it's me again. Well, I mentioned it. EAD is the Employment Authorization Document, which is an application that you have to submit to USCIS. And it's for people who don't have a green card or a tarjeta verde, but they have authorization to work in the in the United States. So there is a different application that you have to renew every 2 years. Otherwise, you cannot work legally in the United States. So many people who have immigrant status, also DACA, they receive this employment authorization document, and this enables them to work legally in the United States for the duration of their status in the United States. Is it clear?
Yes, thank you so much. All right, the next question is asking for the organizations that offer English, GED, computer classes, etc. Are these all free, and do any of the organizations help with those costs? So I'm quickly going to share about focus points really quickly, because we do offer English and upcoming computer classes, and we do have a small cost for registering for those classes, and you can feel free to reach out to me if you'd like more information. My email is grace@focuspoints.org. And I think I saw Ricardo was going to respond as well.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, in our case, we also offer English classes online and citizenship classes online as well. Those classes are 100% free. Actually, we're going to launch another session. This is English for Work, with a special focus on workforce development and work skills. So those are completely free. So please feel free to check out our Facebook page for more information. We have several flyers about and posters about and postings about all the different programs that we offer every month.
Thank you, Ricardo. And then Virginia with La Plaza, did you want to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that our English conversation tables and citizenship group study are free, and all of our appointments are free. All Denver Public Library programs are free. And as for the GED question, we have a program available called Career Online High School that is not exactly a GED program. It's a high school equivalency program, but there are scholarships available for that. So if you have more questions about that, putting something in the chat, but it's cohs@denverlibrary.org. And there's also a phone number to talk to our coordinator, Viviana. And there's more information on our website as well.
Okay, thank you, Virginia. The next question was directed at the Denver and Aurora offices, but it may be applicable to other groups as well. They're wondering if anyone is able to serve the homeless population.
Yeah, in the case of Aurora, we offer several programs and services for our homeless population. Actually, we just expand our office who actually take care of homeless issues in the city. So the answer is yes. We offer different programs from mental health services to food security, to other kind of trainings and counseling as well. So, and by the way, we also offer rental assistance as well. So we have different programs who are part of this Office of Homeless Services.
And I would say the same for Denver. We definitely have several different offices and agencies working on resources for folks who are unhoused. But I also recognize that there might be individuals who have immigration status questions and concerns, or documents that they are trying to replace, that also have the couple challenge with not having permanent housing. So we're able to link folks to resources as well. So please, again, reach out so that if those are some needs, we'd love to help.
Little to Immigrant Resources Center offer legal help for homeless with no cost. So if a person needs to renew their green card or do citizenship, we can do it for free. We work very closely to the Colorado Coalition for Homeless, and we are open to help this population.
Yeah, similar with CERC. Sorry if I cut anyone off. As far as discriminating against homeless folk, nothing that I know of. DACA and citizenship support is free. We just need a location to get mailing. So I feel like worst case scenario, we may be able to just get it sent back to the office. But yeah, if we aren't supporting directly with food or housing, we're most likely connecting folk with the resource that is in our network, as well as referring folk to Undocuhealth and just building that resource.
And for immigrant services, because we do primarily work with students who are on the MSU Denver campus, we do assist them with housing resources and emergency grants that have actually helped a good number of students avoid emergencies like losing a home. But yeah, kind of like JD is saying from CERC, we would refer community members to Undocuhealth.
All right, thank you all for sharing. The next question is a little broader. Is there anything specific we should be paying attention to this year, specifically with regards to immigration, such as policies or programs? A team?
There's a lot of action going on. I'll name a few things, but I definitely, and CERC, feel free to talk about local stuff, but nationally, there's the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, and that is supposed to outline some paths to permanent residency for dreamers, folks with temporary protected status, individuals who are farm workers. There's also, and I always forget the name of it, the dream, I forget the name, but there are several different national pieces of legislation that are, again, trying to make permanent residency for several different individuals. It's the DREAM Act, but it's got some other language in there, Gregor. Thank you. But then I'd also want to make sure that folks are paying attention to what's happening on the state level. Our legislature and our legislators have been extremely busy. And I can't name all of them, but there are some amazing women and men doing some really creative, but also very impactful work. There's there's a public housing has just been a requirement for public housing, a requirement for lawful presence has just been removed for individuals seeking public housing. So that's, I would say, a pretty significant piece of legislation that can definitely assist folks who don't have documentation to prove lawful status here. There are privacy pieces of legislation that are being considered. There is consideration for a new American office, which would hopefully bring just some centralized space for immigrants in general in Colorado to have support centralized in one office. There's some reproductive health laws that are being discussed. I'm probably forgetting a bunch because there are so many. There's one on professional credentialing that would again remove the lawful status requirement. So more folks who are able to take tests and exams that they've been studying for maybe are now able to actually get the licenses needed to practice those professions here in Colorado. I don't know if anyone else has any that they can think of. There's a lot, but I think that those are some local policies that could really impact our immigrant and refugee communities in a very positive way. And then nationally, I think, we're waiting on some real big reform that could really open the doors to permanent residency for a lot. And so a lot of the legal service providers on this call will be extremely busy and will need help along the way.
Thank you. Do any of our other panelists want to add anything? Okay, I'm going to move on to the.
I'm sorry, just one more because it's a big one. So the state is also considering a legal a legal defense fund. And it's a big deal because this would really allow folks who are in deportation proceedings to be represented, and folks would be able to, across Colorado, would be able to have access to that. In Denver, we have a similar fund, and I put some information about that, but this one would be something that would be on a state level. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ateem. We had a clarification from earlier. This one was directed at Littleton. It's the undocumented pardon. Are you all still a good contact for that?
Yes. Can I answer? Yes, this application, this kind of waiver is connected to another process, another immigration process. So it cannot be done separately, okay? So whoever, we don't provide help for now, right now for green card. So this person is probably trying to obtain a green card. And if the person is undocumented, he or she can ask for a waiver for this overstay or being here without documents. And it's connected to another application. So whoever is taking care of this green card application will be able to do this waiver. It's part of the process. It's not separate, okay? So the person doesn't need to be worried about. It would be in conjunction with the rest of the application for a green card. But I'm free if she needs more clarification.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And the contact information for Littleton will be made available as well. The next question is asking about the classes that we've all mentioned that are on Zoom, and if it's possible to tune in from Colorado Springs. So if you are messaging us from Colorado Springs, thanks for tuning in. And for focus points, absolutely. We have many classes that are virtual right now due to COVID, and we have folks tuning in from all over the world. So for us, the answer is yes. Does anyone else want to chime in if you have virtual classes?
Yes, for ESL classes in Littleton.
Denver Public Library also.
Same for the Immigrant Services Program, and I'll put a link in the chat function with recordings for previous workshops.
Okay, thank you. The next question I'm gonna ask Myra Vinia from Focus Points to answer. Someone is looking for help with taxes, and then you may be able to answer the next question as well if you would read that out loud too.
Yes. So if you need to do your taxes and you are undocumented, our workforce department can support you in registering for your ITIN number, and that way you can file your taxes. And if you need resources to file your taxes, we are also able to provide that resource as well. Do any other panelists also have this same resource?
Denver Public Library does have a tax, it's kind of a DIY. So it's not like a full service, but I will put the link to that in the chat for those who might benefit from it.
Thank you. And then the other question I saw is that who can people go to in Colorado Springs that can help them with rent assistance and things like that. And so we do have another FRCA, so Family Resource Center. It's called Catholic Charities, and they will be able to support you with rental assistance, and they have some immigration support services, and they'll also direct you to the right organization for that as well.
Okay, thank you. All right. Another question is asking, how can undocumented folks help with passing these laws if we cannot vote? A team?
So similar to what some of the things that Maria mentioned, I think it's a great question. And I think that as individuals who may not have status, I think the call to action would be to try to engage those who you know who do have status and who are able to vote, but also to pay attention to some of the issues happening on your local level that don't involve voting. So for example, in Denver, in the next several months, we're going to be having a public participation for our budgeting process. And that basically means all the money that Denver has to spend on different programs and agencies, the public gets to weigh in on what they think are the priorities, or what they think some of the money should be spent on, not the whole budget. But that's a place where individuals can still have voice. You know, even if you don't have a lawful status, you're still a resident of Denver, you're still a resident of Aurora. You still have voice to command that your needs and that your desires be listened to and hopefully acted upon. So I think that that's one example of a direct way that I think folks who don't have status can participate, but also joining other local organizing communities. We have Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition to understand what are the issues, to speak to your legislators that represent you, and let them know, you know, what your needs are and what your desires are, living in Denver, living in Colorado.
Yeah, just to quickly echo what Tim
Hey,
is saying.
Juan David, I can't hear you. Can you try to speak up a little bit?
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. We have a full house over here, so I moved down to the basement. But just to echo what Tim was saying, yeah, knowing that there are ways that you might not be able to help, but there are still a lot of ways that you can help, and a big part of advocacy is storytelling. So you know, back with SB 90 with the Show Me Your Papers law, when that was in effect, a big part of getting the Community Trust Act passed, which basically got rid of the Show Me Your Papers law. A big part of that was meeting together, organizing, and lifting up the voices of directly impacted folk. So just knowing that not only do you have a voice, but it 100% matters to speak up and let not only your other community members aware, but also government officials, right? You deserve to be in that room, and you deserve to take up that space.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Let's see. I also just wanted to mention we are monitoring the Facebook comments. So we're sharing this on Facebook Live. And if that's how you're watching, you can still ask a question by commenting on the video. So do any of the programs work with kids, youth, older populations specifically, or are the legal programs and services available for all ages of immigrants and refugees?
This is Ricardo. In our case, we have a wonderful program. It's called Natural Leaders. We work with different local nonprofits. This is a very unique, excellent program because we work with high school students from different local public schools in the area. And this is an excellent program because we try to develop different skills in our youth, in our community. Actually, we just have the graduation last Friday. We have the mayor there and several members of the city council. So this is a very interactive and very good program for youth in our city. In addition to that, also we have the Natural Helpers program. And we have, in addition to that, we work with our police department. We have the International Teen Police Academy every summer. We have two different sessions, and we actually take local young people, youth leaders from our schools to spend a week working with APD officers at the local public safety academy. So they have the opportunity to interact and participate in different joint activities with law enforcement. So these are just a couple examples of some of our programs that we have here in the city of Aurora.
Well, our ESL classes are for 17 and older, so I think they qualify as adults. Our legal programs are mostly for adults, but can be for children also. But we thrive to help older adults to get their citizenship, to get their renewals, what they need. We work with Dr. Cog, so they bring a lot of older folks here. And we're very proud that we have 90, 80 something year old people be naturalized every year.
Okay, thank you so much. Those are all the questions that I have received in the Q&A. So I'd like to just create an opportunity if any of our panelists would like to share closing remarks or any last comments before we wrap things up for this evening.
Thanks again for the opportunity. It was great to have this conversation today. So please check out our website, our Facebook page, and also, check out our new immigrant integration plan. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us anytime. So thank you again.
All right, wonderful. Well, it's been a pleasure to spend some time with you all this evening. And yes, big thank you to our presenters. We appreciate it so much. There's so much expert power in the room right now, and we really appreciate you all coming together. So we will be sharing all of this information on our Facebook page, on our social media, on our website. Please feel free to share it. I hope this is important and helpful for a lot of people, and we'd like to get the word out as much as we can to the Denver metro area. So that's all we have. And thank you again to everyone who tuned in. And it's been a pleasure. Have a great evening, everyone.